made me executive producer. And Ray, I'm out of here. A couple weeks ago when Ray came to me and said, Tony, I'm leaving January 31st. I immediately went to, next year, Ray, you're leaving next year? And I realized it was 2 weeks before January 31st. And Ray looked at me like, you lost your mind, Tony. It's not January 31st yet. And it really wasn't wishful thinking when it came to Ray. Ray, you know, we all know how talented and creative Ray is, but really one of the best people I've ever worked with, and I'm not being kind. You are one of the best. It's like I always felt, especially as a director, and those who worked with me as a director will know, I approached every day like I was going into battle. That's just how you always saw this, and I still feel that way. And there's some people you look at, you come in when you have the worst kind of days coming, and you go, we're good, Ray's here. And I swear on my son, I've always felt that way about you. I see it, we're going to be okay today. And I think the actors always felt that way. You were the most passionate, cared about what you did person. There was a calm that came over. When I would kick into my Sicilian personality, which is...
I'm half Sicilian too, so...
Right? And so, everybody was, oh God, what's he going to say now? What's he going to do now? Ray was the one person who just stood there and smiled. And then, what was interesting about that, I'm going, why is this guy smiling? I'm not getting this. And I found out, is there a fire? I found out his mother was Sicilian. So he's kind of, he's finding comfort in my insanity. And then, Ray has no Sicilian symptoms at all. They just don't exist with Ray. Ray, you're one of the most decent, kind not being a verb, kind being just, that's who you are. Now, they'll probably say, who's he talking to? No. Just kind, you know, and it's fun. I've been thinking about kindness lately with people. I saw these people interviewed, and what's it take to be kind? You're just that person, you're kind. And I'm just going to miss you terribly, just as a person. And I really, it's a sad day for me, and I know everybody else. Anyway, thanks, Ray.
Can't hide in the shadows this time. As Tony said, Ray's a special person to us at CBS. His career, as long as I've known him, has been on Y&R. There's a lot of measure of what a good employee is. I think Ray checks all of the boxes and more. His knowledge is without equal here. His work ethic, his personality. Just a great guy to be in. He's been innovative on the show. He's created the Y&R look along with Shay. I used to talk to Shay a lot, and the classes they took outside of here on their own dime to learn and then apply that to here, which couldn't be applied immediately, as a lot of you who've been here a while know, because the cameras weren't able to do what they wanted to do. When the cameras got more sensitive, they were able to lower the light levels, create a very special look that was unique to Y&R. And this gentleman was responsible for that. So that's as Tony said so well, Ray's a special person too. He's soft-spoken, a gentleman in every sense of the word. A guy who has a lot of things going on outside of here that a lot of people don't know about. He's a well-rounded person. Even though he spends most of his life here and has, he's got a life outside of CBS. And that's why personally, while I'm sad to see him leave, he's moving on of his own volition. He wants to do this. There was no changing his mind as much as we tried. And I'm happy for you, Ray. It's a special time for you. I'm going to miss you. But you're one of the special people here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ray.
Any actor knows a lighting director is your best friend. And what a friend we have had in Ray. Ray, how many Emmys do you have?
9.
9 Emmy Awards. his achievement in lighting, anybody, I talked to Jason earlier, Jason Thompson, who said, oh, it's the first thing I noticed when I saw myself on your show. Oh, lighting. This is great. So, and the whole industry knows about your work. The whole industry is trying to copy your work, or has tried and failed and given up and moved on. But Tony was right. The thing that stands out is you are a gentleman and you are kind. And those are wonderful things to be remembered for, and you shall be remembered for that.
Oh boy. Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm going to put these glasses on. This was a long time coming, and I never dreamed I'd be this old. Or have such a terrific send-off. When I first started on The Young and the Restless, it was a half-hour show. And John Beam was the lighting director, and I was his lighting board man. I sat at a lighting console over there by the patch panel that was about the size of a Volkswagen van. And the show was shot live to tape, which meant, except for a small break where commercials will be inserted, we never stopped rolling. As a scene finished in a set, one of the cameras would break away, going to the next set to pick up the beginning of the next scene, usually in a wide two-shot. They held the two-shot until the other cameras could roll over and join the new scene in progress. Nowadays, things have definitely changed. For the better, I like to think. My big break came when John Beam and Art Roberts, Bill's father, is Bill here? I'm here. All right. Well, Bill's dad thought I might make a good LD and proceeded to train me.
He was right.
Well, I have them to thank for my career. During my time at CBS, I've been fortunate to light everything from game shows, primetime sitcoms and pilots, the national news, and interviews with many fascinating people, my favorite being Orson Welles. But through all this, my mainstay and greatest pleasure has been lighting The Young and the Restless. This show has been a home to me, and I feel like the production staff, cast, and crews have been like a wonderful family. Well, not always wonderful. After all, every family has a weird uncle, or an overbearing aunt who shows up every now and again. None of them is here today. Y&R has allowed me to have a 40-year career on one show, which is a real rarity in Hollywood. I've been challenged and encouraged to grow as an artist, and I'm proud of the work I've done. We were really pioneers in high-definition television by showing that it could look more like film than anybody imagined. And because we've worked so long together, Y&R is like a finely tuned machine. Everybody knows their job and when and how to do it. It's an incredible collaboration. There's so many people for me to thank, but I'll keep it brief so you won't give me the hook. Of course, the Bell family, and all our producers, directors, and production staff. Thank you for the challenges and the opportunities. Our wonderful, beautiful actors, Eric, Peter, all of you, especially Melody, who has been here as long as I have, but she sure looks a hell of a lot better. It's been an honor to work with the editors and hair and makeup and wardrobe and set dressers. It's been a pleasure to work with my friend, David Hoffman. He gave me beautiful sets to light. David, you're here somewhere. There you go. I need to give a shout out to Tracy, our TD, our cameraman, wonderful cameraman, and stage managers. Mondi, my terrific head electrician, and his crew. Peter, my board man. Linda's here too. She's been my board person. And of course, our partners in creating the look of the show, the video operators, Roberto, and my dear departed friend, Shay Janney. Lastly, many thanks to my talented partner in crime, Bill Roberts. And of course, love and thanks to my wife, Dale, for not minding the late hours, and for making my lunches for all these years. I am indeed looking forward to my future, but please know the past I've spent with you all has been nothing but the highest honor. Thank you so very much.